Hello, Larry here, Handyman Larry. We're going to change the wax ring on this toilet. It's you usually start leaking everywhere. It's a good indication that the wax ring is leaking. It's just disintegrated. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to shut off the main water, which is down here. I don't know if you can see that. This valve off. This is the water, the supply to the toilet. Turn it off all the way. It's an old valve. It looks like it's leaking when I turn it. So most of the time these things will stop leaking as soon as you either turn them all the way off or all the way open. So then we got to flush the toilet to get rid of what's in the tank, and to then we can suction out what's in here. So watch this. Watch it go down. Hold it open. You got dummy. So that way you can see as much of it go down and out as you can. There we go. Then we can suction out the rest of it with the shot vac here. I'm going to grab this thing. I'm going to turn that vacuum on. Suction this out. If we don't get this water out, when we go to move the toilet, it's going to make a mess everywhere on the floor. So yeah, we got about as much of it out as we can. Next, we're going to take this. We're going to disconnect this line. This line right here. What goes up to the tank, and it's going to leak a little bit. That's okay. That's why we have the shot vac and the rag. And then we're going to take these caps right here, which hold the which cover up. It's just a cosmetic thing to cover up the nut. We have one of these on each side. So I'm going to pop those off. Here we go. Then I can either take a small pair of pliers or a wrench and take this nut off here. So I'll probably save these because it's trimmed down to size, and if I use the new ones, they'll be really long and I won't be able to get that cap back on. So I'm going to try to reuse these since they're already cut to the right size. So now we're ready to pull this toilet off. We got both those nuts off in the washers, and here we go. It's going to come off nice and easy. Okay. Now what we do is we lift it straight up first to get it up and over the bolts. Okay. And I'm just going to set this over here on the side. First, actually, I'm going to dry up some of that mess. There's water all over, and I'm going to suction it back up. I hate working in mud and water. So with the water in there, and it was sealed under here because there was a line of grout, or it was sealed around the base, so water just kind of accumulated in there. And once I lifted it, the water, a bit of the water came out. So I'm going to pick this up straight up. There's the evidence of all the water. Move that point. Okay. Now I'm just going to move it to the side. I don't want to take it off. So yes, you can see right here, this is the thinner part here. It's just kind of disintegrated, and that's where it was leaking from, and it was puddling up down here. But you can see back here was flat and pretty well held together. Back there was still actually creating a seal, and it was working its way out. But here's what we do. So we got this spatula, and we can clean up around here. But first, I'm going to try to pick up this thing whole. Yeah, it came up pretty good. You can see this, it acts as a funnel. But the next one, I always get these extra thick. With these being so thin, they always leak, so I don't even bother with the regular, normal wax ring. Since we're putting the exact same toilet on, this can still, oh well, we'll just go ahead and scrape it off. Just come on. Whatever comes up easy, we're taking it out. You can see this thicker stuff over here we're going to leave because it's going to create it's acting as a shim to level the toilet, so we're just going to leave it there. If we were putting a whole different toilet on here, we'd take all this up. But we're putting the exact same way on, it's going to line up the exact same way. We're going to pick up the worst of it. So I got the worst of it with the shot vac. Gotta love those shot vacs. Never leave home without them. And you can take an old rag that you don't mind sacrificing to the cause. Clean up around here just enough to make it to where you can get everything on nicely, and you'll be able to put another seal around that. If it's too dirty and filthy, your new adhesive will not stick. So here's the wax ring I ended up with. Only Walmart was open today. Today's Thanksgiving, and we couldn't take it anymore, so we had to do this. I ended up getting this at Walmart. That name is not a bad name. You can count on it. It'll be fine. Just peel that off. This is what I like to do when I do this. Just throw away bag, old grocery bag or something, over a bucket, and then throw all the crap away. You can see how much thicker this wax ring is over the other one. And anytime you have tile, you have a different distance. You're raising the toilet away from the flange. Oh, and by the way, usually when you have leaks for a long duration of time, these flanges, which is what's holding the toilet down, will often rust and corrode, and then they won't serve a purpose. This is actually still in real good shape, surprisingly, but you can see over here, this part here, how it's kind of disintegrating, and that's okay. It's still got enough structure in it to hold and serve its purpose. It's still just strong enough. So now I like to just center this as good as I can right on there, and then I'll pick up the toilet and I'll just set it down as squared as I can, even as possible. Another thing you want to do is we'll lift and inspect the underneath of the toilet to make sure that it's not too nasty. See that? It's a good thing we did this, because this would compromise our seal. So we want to scrape that off and clean it up decently. Clean. The seal is actually around here. Doesn't have to be absolutely spotless. Those wax rings do a pretty good job. Let me get some toilet paper off. Clean it up just a little more. And that's okay. That will work right there. You're not going to eat off of it. It doesn't have to be that clean. Alright, we'll bring this back up carefully. This is porcelain. It will break just like it looked like it chipped already. I don't know how or at what point. I don't know if we caused that or if that was already there, but the brittle just like a plate. Put it on like this so that way I can get a visual. Where I'm at. And you should be able to push it down to collapse it. You can feel it. That's a good thing. If you don't feel it collapsing the ring, then you're not likely creating a seal. We can put this stuff back on. This is not in the greatest shape, but it'll still serve its purpose. Bolts, studs, they're still serving the purpose, and I won't have to get a new one on there and then worry about trimming it the right side. Now I'll get the other one on. Now we're going to put the supply line back on. This is an older style. The home was built in 2001 or 2. So I don't care for them. If I have to replace those, I won't use those same type. I'd use the braided steel with a quarter turn valve down there. So all you got to do is collapse an O-ring there up there to create a seal. Doesn't require a whole bunch. Now this, we're going to turn it on. It probably leak a little bit until I open it all the way. As long as it stops, we're going to be okay. It might just be up here. See what's going on with it. Expect that seal a little better. Actually doesn't look bad. Maybe I can crank down on a little more and see if it stops. If not, to make sure no water is coming out. To verify that the leak took or the seal is working properly. It's filling up right now. Everything's functioning well. It's just a little slow. Okay, so one more flush. If you don't see anything after 3 or 4 flushes, then you don't have a leak anymore. Anyway, that's it. That's how you change a wax ring, and don't forget to like and share. Bye now.